All right, hello everybody. This is Daniel from Gamestingr. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button for weekly gaming content here on the channel. So today, guys, we have we're doing our weekly podcast once again. Today we have a big day ahead of us, so we're going to be talking about the new PS5 UI that was unveiled just a few days ago. We're also going to be talking about Ghost of Tsushima DLC content and what that means and lots of other stuff, guys. All right, so we have the whole crew here today. We got Jeff, we got James, we got Reese with us. So let's get into it, guys. What is the first order of the day, Jeff?
First, we're going to take a look at the new PlayStation 5 interface. So we're going to switch over. I can show you guys. We'll watch a little part of that video, and then we'll kind of discuss it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, if you guys haven't seen it, well, there we go. It's going to start playing. But basically, it's quite similar to the PS4 UI, but it's a little sleeker, as you would expect, a little more modern, a little smoother around the edges. And for me personally, I didn't mind the PS4 UI too much. I didn't find that it was like too special or anything, but it wasn't too glitchy or anything like that either. It was fine for my purposes. So this feels like it's going to be an improvement, which can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. I don't. It might be. I think we kind of mentioned this off podcast, but like the rounded corners and stuff, it kind of adds a little bit more depth to the background. It just looks more modern.
Yeah, I feel like they took some of what PS4 UI did well, and a little bit of what Switch, a little bit of what the Nintendo Switch had going on as well.
And later in the video, I don't know if it'll show it, but the big switch from PS4 to PS5 is the PlayStation Marketplace. With the PS4, it was completely separate. You had to load it up. It was going to like another website. I guess with the PlayStation UI, PlayStation 5, it's all integrated. So there's no loading times. You can just go to the PlayStation Store from your desktop thing. So that's kind of cool.
Nice.
So you just click on that basically, and it's just gonna everything will just come out right away, as if almost it's on your hard drive, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit clunky on the PS4. When you were playing a game, then you went to the store, it was really clunky, and it took ages.
Yeah,
like if you wanted to if you're in a game, let's say, and you wanted to buy some DLC and you wanted to use it on the spot, the whole system kind of just went to the PSN store and then it came back. It was all kinds of jerky and weird.
Yeah, it was not user friendly at all. Another little thing I like about this is along the bottom, it's got those like quick menu buttons. That's kind of nice. I don't remember that being there for the PS4.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Shows you your battery.
I can barely see them though, but I saw them. I saw them when I watched the video before, so that's fine. Yeah, it's really nice. All in all, I like it. It's really nice. I'm not sure if it's a game changer for the PS5, but it's a definite improvement based on what I've seen. I'm not sure. I didn't really take the time to look at what the general opinion is, the general consensus in the comment section when Sony released this. But I can't think that people would be too pissed about it unless they're just Sony haters.
A lot of the comments are about getting yelled at by random kids. 3 main improvements.
A
dedicated media
that figures.
A quick PlayStation Store, and voice to text on the DualSense. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's right. That is. I guess I never tried to use that on the PS4, but I guess it's a new feature, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the remote has a microphone in it.
But didn't the PS4? No, I guess the PS4 one didn't, right? It was just like a speaker. Like I remember when I was playing GTA on it, it was just a speaker. Right. It was just a speaker, not an actual.
Yeah, randomly shouting things at it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It gave me a fright half the time because it was way too high.
I remember the first time I was playing GTA was the first time I actually noticed that there was a speaker on it,
The
and I was like,
freaking
"Whoa, what the hell?"
the sirens
Remote's talking to
going
me.
off
But
and shit. The light
you're
would
right.
flash, and yeah, that threw me. Um,
Cool. I think that's pretty cool because on the PS4 it was always a pain to type stuff on it. Like you want to type something or especially if you want to share stuff to social media like Twitter, Facebook, whatever. What you can do on the PS4, but you have to type stuff on your DualShock 4, and by the time that you type anything, you're like, screw this, I'm never using it again. So now if you actually use your voice to type something, and I think that they have some commands for things like hashtags and things like that. If I remember correctly from the video, you can tell the system and it will understand things for tagging people or using hashtags. If I could be wrong on that, but I feel like that's what they said. So you can do it all through voice, and you can share stuff right away. So it can make sharing stuff really easy from your console, which actually could be a huge deal in my opinion.
so I remember on the 360, I had like a little keyboard pad that you plugged in. Does the PlayStation have something similar? I guess I've never looked
Yeah,
at the keyboard.
the folders, I think.
Does it?
Like a little thing you can clip on and plug it into like the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's
right.
like a full
Never
keyboard.
actually saw anyone using them.
I actually didn't know that, Reese. So okay, cool,
I think so. I'm not
interesting.
sure.
I think
It could have been for the PS3. I'm not sure.
I just used it a lot for the 360 because I was still talking a lot of shit. I think once I got to the PS4, those days were behind me.
You're
Probably
getting
too.
old, Jeff.
No kidding.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're rare and now they're like really expensive. The little keyboards for it.
I mean, I could just type in PS4 keyboard, see what comes up. Use a keyboard and mouse with the PlayStation, and you could do that.
Maybe type attachment, PS4 keyboard attachment. I honestly don't remember ever seeing it on a PS4. I certainly don't remember anyone ever using it. Yeah, but
If it'll look, yeah, look at that. This
yeah,
is
it has one.
GameStop, $20.
Yeah, there
PlayStation 4
you go.
trackpad.
Man, that looks clunky. That
It
looks
does.
How would
clunky
you
as
hold the
hell.
remote properly with that?
How does it?
I don't know
That's
that.
interesting. I didn't know that.
The thing is, you can talk a lot of shit on it, but the thing is, you're gonna be on the receiving end of most of the shit talking when you're losing and getting your ass handed to you because you can't play worth a damn with that thing on it. Of course, I guess you can take it off and put it back on or something like that, but still looks clunky as hell.
Yeah,
Oh, they look super clunky.
that doesn't look comfortable at all.
It kind of looks like a
No.
Nokia phone with a control pad.
It does. It does. Oh my god, it does.
The Nokia phone attachment for DS4. There you go.
Yeah, the part you slide it out and type. I mean, yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, it looks very old school. Like from 1999. Getting my Nokia, my first cell phone here. I'm getting kind of like sense of deja vu. No, but yeah, I mean that's exactly why it's a game changer. Or we'll never have to use crap like that ever again. I mean, sorry to say that, but I think you want to use the less amount of accessories possible to do what you want to do in terms of gaming, sharing, and whatnot. So I think any bit helps. And honestly, the voice on the DualShock thing it's a no brainer. In my opinion, I'm actually surprised the PS4 didn't have it, but I'm glad that we do, and I think that it's going to help a lot.
So is the microphone on the DualShock 5 or DualSense 5, is that only going to be for text to speech? Because I don't want to be on COD listening to some kid stick his controller up his butt or something. You know what I mean? Like, is that always going to be on? What? You already have obnoxious, annoying people with their mic like this. It's like, if that thing's on the whole time, that's going to be annoying as hell.
Yeah, I think it can be used as a normal mic.
Oh God.
You
Yeah.
have to go on.
I'm not playing Madden online then, and next gen. Fuck that. Because
Yeah.
if it's on the controller, it has to be, in a weird. The PS5 controller is going to be so small. I mean, all the PlayStation controllers are so small that mic is going to have to be close to your hands no matter what. How is it not going to pick up button pushing? How is it not going to pick up your farts? Like, I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. It's picking up parts, man. It's like
Maybe it has a built-in fart noise remover or thingy. I don't know, man. It's a good. I I think it's a good question. I don't know if I have the answer though.
But they especially made it not to pick up the button movement. That's not possible, is it? Like for that certain sound, because they know the sound. They know what sound it's going to be.
Yeah.
They could cut that sound out. Really, I think some softwares can do that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you would think that because the buttons are so close to the mic that it would be almost impossible to kind of cut it out. It would be like putting a mic next to your keyboard while you're playing online. You're playing Fortnite or whatever online, and you're smashing your keyboard, tick 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 tick, and you would expect the mic not to pick that up. I feel like that probably isn't going to work too well.
PS4 remote was quite quiet, but I don't think they're going to make it like completely silent.
So that's the thing. So I'm not sure. I forget right now, but maybe they're making the what is it? The DualSense 2 they're calling it?
Yeah,
Jeff?
DualSense 5.
DualSense 5. Okay, yeah, DualSense or just DualSense. So maybe I forget if they mentioned this, but maybe the buttons themselves are going to be much quieter or quieter in general than in previous generations.
Okay, even if we eliminate the buttons, humans are so loud and obnoxious. I can't imagine how this is going to be a good feature if you're playing COD or something.
Yeah.
You're probably just gonna hear breathing down the mic.
Oh yeah.
Well, they can't do anything with that. That's just gonna be breathing.
There's gonna be so much auxiliary sound going on. In this picture, I mean the mic is right fucking there. Right between the analog sticks. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not sure either, Jeff, to be honest. But also, I'm not like I'm not a huge fan of the kind of banter that goes on in multiplayer games either. So I wouldn't be like the target audience for that kind of feature, anyways. But I look, this is what it's going to do. It's going to make it easier for everybody that has a PS5 to just get into it and just talk crap and talk trash online. Because previously you needed to buy an extension with a mic, and like a lot of people didn't, so they just had no access to voice in the game. And so now everybody's going to have access to voice in the game by default. So it might lead to a heightened level of cancerous poison in pretty much every multiplayer game that you play, just by virtue of it being there. But at the same time, maybe this is just where the industry is. Like everyone wants to get in on the action. I don't know. Maybe Sony is going to crack down on people just being completely stupid online. I'm not exactly sure, but you would think that they might have to have something in the works to kind of counterbalance the increased level of acidity online. I can say, but who knows, right? It's probably just going to lead to one giant mess.
I think this is a classic question of you can, but should you?
Yeah.
I mean, the PS4s, I don't know about the PS3s, but the PS4s for sure, when you bought one, you got a little starter earpiece. I mean, it wasn't...
Yeah, just like that one little mic thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
I never used that. Did any of you guys ever use it?
Oh, yeah.
It just looked like a cheap piece of plastic.
Well, I mean, you throw your headset and break it, and it's like, well, I got this one that I got with the PS4, so I better use that.
Xbox 360, did they come with one? That came with one.
Yeah.
Like a little one that went over your head like that.
You felt like a little call center person.
Yeah. What do you think of the look of the actual remote? The white and black.
I love it personally. I like it a lot. I think I think this is the Sony's way of kind of like changing it up, but keeping it similar at the same time. So they kind of just changed.
Yeah.
Usually you would have like what PS1 was all gray, PS2 was black. I think it's been black since PS2.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was gray on PS1. So this is a way of kind of trying to accentuate some of the features like the shapes and stuff. I mean the controller looks awfully a lot like DualShock 4, right? It doesn't look really all that different. It just has the white, the black, and you see the blue on the sides there. So it's I feel like more than anything, it's more of a stylistic upgrade.
Yeah,
It
it's
kind
made
of
to
works.
match.
I kind of dig it.
I think it looks.
Yeah, exactly,
it's a
right?
little more ergonomic. It's got a little
Yeah.
bit wider in the. I don't know what you call it. It's a
But I
little-
mean, if you look at the buttons
it's a little
and
fancy.
the pad in the middle and all of that, it's kind of the same as the PS4, isn't it? Like there's no real difference, is there?
I think along
Yeah.
the bottom, it might be a little bit thicker,
Yeah,
kind of like a Xbox controller, and maybe a little bit more rounded up here, kind of fit your fingers better.
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it's the same.
It's pretty similar. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. People love the DualShock 4, so I feel like that's what's that?
There's not much need to change that much.
No.
PS4 was a good remote, like the DualShock.
I mean, I like the Xbox One controller considerably better than the DualShock 4. But I found the DualShock 4 was also good. I just like the thumb thingy joystick being higher up, but that's just a personal preference. I mean, But outside of that, I thought the PS4 controller was more than fine, and I think that's just what Sony's thinking. Why change something if it isn't broken? So let's just roll with it. People liked it last time around. The DualShock 4 got rave reviews.
Xbox has kept it the same.
They kept it the same, yeah, exactly. Because it's a winner. Like their controller is. I mean, minus the D-pad, which on Xbox sucks ass, like big time. But who uses a D-pad anyways, right? It's not like we're playing Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo controller, so no one uses that anyways. The D-pad sucks, but the rest of the controller is amazing. So why switch it if it's not broken?
Little touchscreen things just used for the map. And that's it. There was no need to even putting it in this one, I don't think.
Yeah. I like.
Yeah, Xbox
It
doesn't
adds like
use that.
£20 onto the price. Because it must cost a lot to put a touchscreen into the remote.
But doesn't
You mean the pad that the
Yeah, the little
that
pad thing. That's just feels pointless to me.
I was thinking about the pad thing the other day because one of the PS4 games that I had, you could use the pad for something, but I don't even remember what it was, and I don't know anybody who ever used it ever.
I used it yesterday on like Days Gone. It was literally you scroll left and the map came up. And Ghost of Tsushima, you can use the whistle and
that's
the
what I was
wind.
thinking of. Yeah. You
See where you're going. It's just you could use it. Any other button could do that quite easily.
The only thing I've ever used it for is when I'm trying to type. You can actually use it to kind of scroll really fast from one letter to the other. That's the only thing I've ever used it for.
What?
And they fixed that now with the voice thing.
So you can go from like A to like whatever, just like zoom, and that's it.
Use
That's
it as
the
a
only thing I
mouse.
use it for.
Like a touchscreen mouse. Like a
Basically,
laptop.
I had no idea you could do that.
Yeah, you can. It's pretty cool. But you use it once or twice, and then you're like, yeah, whatever.
All right. Anything else about the PS5 controller or UI that you guys want to talk about?
There is like a mission thing they've put into the screen now, what tells you how long the mission is. That was a big thing, and that was like the mission. I don't know why they've done it. It's apparently like so you know how long it's going to take. Say if you only got a certain amount of time. That's the thing what stood out to me, even though I'm probably not going to use it.
On what?
Yeah, so
What?
so I don't know if that's a UI thing or it's just a PS5 thing in general, but
It was
basically
on like one of the screen things. Like you were on a mission. It was like they were showing Sackman or something, and they showed like how long the mission was going to be.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
10 minutes until you finish. So it
So it's
measures
kind
how
of
much
like
time you got left.
if you have a Kindle, and you're reading a book on your Kindle, you can click on the bottom of the screen, and it'll tell you how many minutes you have in the chapter, how many minutes you have in the book, and so on and so forth. It's basically they're introducing the Kindle feature onto your game. So it's going to take into account how fast you play the game, and it's going to kind of calculate the remaining time kind of in real time, so you can see how much longer you have in this chapter. I'm not sure if you can see how much longer you have in the game. I think
That's just like the mission, I think.
yeah, it was mainly focused per mission, so it's kind of that feature. I'm not sure I really personally am going to use that because I don't really like knowing how long something is going to take me, because then I become obsessed with that time, and it's just like I like to be immersed in the experience instead of being concerned with timing issues, But that's just me. I mean, it's a small feature, I guess. It's cool, but some people might like it. I'm not sure that I'll use it that much.
I screw off.
I mean,
so
I
much.
don't.
Go ahead.
You like it?
Oh, no, I don't. I was like, knowing how much time I got left, and then if I haven't been playing it that long, I'm like, I paid $60 for this motherfucker, man. Now I'm like 80%.
I wonder if they're gonna make it
Exactly.
like a
Can
developer's
backfire.
problem or like the PlayStation problem. Who's gonna put that in place?
I think they said that it was a developer thing, if I remember correctly.
More
But
crunch just for that little bit.
yeah,
I screw
could be
off
wrong,
so
but I
much.
think they said it's a dev thing.
I screw off
Weird.
so much, my little timer will just be like recalculating.
2 hours on one mission.
You're off picking flowers. Like, whatever.
Doing a side mission, which is gathering something. How are they going to do that on Skyrim when you have the mission
Oh my god.
and then you go disappear for like 3 hours to do something random?
27 hours.
Yeah, it's just going to
They're
tell you
gonna-
it's going to
they're gonna
take
measure
500 hours before you
finish this mission in 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
I want to know. I want to play Skyrim on the PS4 just to know what it says, and then never do the main mission.
Exactly.
Well, we should do that in a subsequent video after the PS5 releases. Oh, by the
It's
way,
owned by Bethesda now, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
speaking of which, before I forget, we should mention this more, and we're going to do it. We're going to have so if anybody's watching, we're going to have a PS5 giveaway that we're going to be promoting in the very near future. So you guys stay on the lookout, because we're going to be giving away a PS5. It's going to be awesome. So I should have said it at the beginning. It slipped my mind, so I just wanted to mention it now. Okay, guys. So I think we can go to the next topic, because otherwise we're going to speak for an hour on the PS5 UI, and we have like 4 more topics we want to get to. So I think the UI looks nice. The features are fine. I mean, you can use the ones you want. You don't have to use the ones you don't want. But the UI in general looks like an improvement to the one on the PS4. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
And I think anybody that watches the video, besides Sony haters, are going to agree with it. That it's probably an improvement.
Bill Gates
So,
is watching this, just clicking dislike.
Yeah, there you go. It would be nice if he's watching, though. But yeah. All right, so let's move on, guys. So what was the second topic of the day? I know we wanted to kind of dump on EA games for a little bit, and Madden and FIFA, and how EA just puts out these basically these copy and pasted versions of the game year after year. And I think this year was especially bad for EA games, which of course would make sense because of another year, same crap. And
Every year's bad for EA.
yeah, exactly. And the worst game is actually the NHL franchise, because honestly, it feels like it hasn't been updated since like 2007 on the PS3. But Never mind that. We're not going to be talking about NHL very much. So I don't know, Jeff. You recently got into Madden, so tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this whole EA copy and paste kind of thing.
So okay.
He's in gaming bliss right now, man.
So I think the main issue is how much the Madden Ultimate Team has taken off, because they see that as their cash cow. You know, you buy the game for $60, and then people spend hundreds of dollars buying those stupid packs. So all their development's been going towards that, and franchise mode and every other mode has just been shit on essentially. And it's frustrating because there's so much that they could do. I remember a couple of years ago they introduced practice squads, and like that was kind of a cool. It like made it feel more realistic and stuff. And there's still a lot more things that they could do. They could add, stuff with the draft. They could do more with trading. They could do more with like the sidelines and actual mechanics in the game that just are broken. And so it's just frustrating because they have the ability. They're showing it in the Ultimate Team, which is fine. That's where they're making a lot of money. But yeah, franchise mode has just been left in the dust. And so I think that's the main thing. It's not that they are copying and pasting, but it's so they can focus more on this Ultimate Team shit. And I mean, I get it. A lot of people have fun with it, but it's for somebody like me.
But my issue with the copy and paste is more in terms of the gameplay.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a lot of mechanics they could work on.
Is there a story in it now, or is it still?
Yeah, they tried to do the NBA Rise, whatever.
Because they seem to be pushing that in their FIFA game now, like
Yeah.
the story branching through like past couple of games of one character. It just seems it's a FIFA game.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to play football, not. It's weird.
It's a team. It's a team sport. Like you want to build a team. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I
used to play FIFA a lot, and then I stopped when that story came in, because I used to play Ultimate Team on FIFA, and it's probably near exactly the same.
Yeah.
You have to spend like coins, and then you get some coins for winning a match, and then you can get packs what cost money, but you can also do it with coins. It's just a massive cash grab, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
The thing with EA is that if they can make the most money doing the least amount of effort, they'll do it, man. So they'll put out the same game, roughly the same game every year, and then have some way for you that you have to pay for something. So it's like that's EA's like routine.
Yeah, well said, James. I mean, I couldn't agree more. But
now they own Star Wars games.
Yeah, and look what happened to that.
Yeah.
Fucking ruined Battlefront.
And Squadrons.
Terrible. Oh, that one too.
Yeah, they're not adding any more content to it. Apparently, it was a good game, but
so dumb.
Like it was it's basically a cheap cash grab. But that's what they're focusing on now. Like getting a Star Wars game out every year, but doing it really quick within like making it smaller and just really quick. So we're never gonna get like these, say, Old Republic. We're never gonna get like a game like that from EA.
Yeah, just like the movies.
We might get a remake. Yeah, exactly like the movies.
Yeah, it's just crap, released each year. Which is why I don't really play much EA stuff in general. Like for example, for soccer, I like Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer. Always have, just because the gameplay is better. And for NFL, I think it was the 2K series that was better than Madden in 2005.
Yeah.
Madden has been the same crap every year basically since then, with just maybe some improved graphics and whatnot. That's what I'm saying. Like for me, like for like the extra stuff, like I'm not gonna pay money just to play a mode. Give me a break. Like seriously, I already dumped $90 on this crappy ass game. You think I'm gonna pay more just to enjoy mode? Hell no. And like I'm not their target audience, but obviously the stuff works. People pay money for it, and they're gonna keep doing it as long as people buy the same crappy game year after year and pay for the extra modes. And it would be dumb business not to keep doing something that works. So I don't fault them for it. But I feel like I was reading IGN's review, right? I think we all kind of saw it for FIFA on the Switch. I'm not sure.
They
I didn't play
copy and
FIFA on the
pasted
Yeah, they just
PS4,
copied it.
but yeah, like the review was like, EA is going to copy and paste the same ass game like last year. So you know what? We're just gonna copy and paste the same review that we did last year. And I kind of died laughing at that, but it's kind of true, right? Like when IGN is openly ripping on EA like that, you know that it's pretty bad. It's
I was
pretty
really
bad.
surprised that IGN even did that.
I know, because usually they rate the FIFA games so well,
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
don't usually use their like humor in a lot of their stuff they do lately, and that was just really surprising. If they did more stuff like that, people wouldn't hate them as much as they do now.
Yeah. IG is a little dry a lot of the times. That was actually one of their standout moments.
But yeah, they should do more
Like
stuff like
ever.
that. People would like them again.
So real
Yeah, I know. And well, because they're telling the truth,
Mhm.
like and this is kind of what I'm saying is like EA has gone away with this crap for so long, but maybe now people are starting to feel a little cheated. I'm not sure.
The
But if these
sales,
reviews keep coming out, it's definitely going to have an effect, I think, on EA's bottom line
yeah,
and
the
their
sales
MO.
with FIFA were down from last year.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know
So
about Madden.
with the real quick with the Star Wars thing, because so EA, because I thought was BioWare and who did Knights of the Old Republic? BioWare and
Respawn,
okay,
Apex Legends, and Titanfall developer.
so did EA buy the rights to that too?
They bought Respawn, yeah. But the person in charge of Respawn who did Titanfall, he's gone pretty higher. So we can't.
Yeah.
That's why Jedi Fallen Order was kind of, I say, better than most, even though it was kind of trash. But yeah, he's kind of going higher up. But the EA bug of microtransactions and money grabbing probably going to hit most of the stuff he's behind as well. So the producer or the game designer can only go too far until the head ups say something. But for Star Wars games, I don't know if to blame Disney after seeing Marvel Avengers come out,
Yeah.
because you can't really blame Square Enix for some of the games that they make. So I'm not sure whether to blame Disney or EA.
I think there's definitely too many notes coming down from these publishers.
It's just
Yeah.
getting a bit
Too
weird.
much, yeah, too much interference going
But
on.
but okay, so EA and Disney, they have the same MO, right? So it's you can blame whoever,
Get the
but
most money.
these
It's a quick spot.
these two companies, their number one priority is maximizing cash revenue each and every year at the expense of the well-being of the consumer, which is they don't give a crap about us. They're just going to push their junk on us each year because there's enough of people out there in the masses that are going to consume it. They don't care. Both Disney and EA are the same. Like I'm not sure who was worse. Honestly, they're both pretty
They
bad.
got enough marks to
I'd
make
say
money
Disney.
off of.
Oh, I couldn't hear you, James.
Sorry.
I said they have enough marks to make money off of that they can just keep doing the same thing over and over and not worry about, like, some people might be like, this is the same shit again. And it's like, okay, and you know, you're still gonna buy it.
Yeah. They don't. Yeah. They're just a pimp. They don't give a shit. They're like
No.
That new Marvel game didn't have a proper name. It was just Marvel Avengers.
Right. Yeah.
They just sold it on that name, and thought they could. That's what they just thought fans would go to it because they've done good in the past with their films, so they could just call it Marvel Avengers.
Yeah.
What? Interesting.
I was looking at it like I think it was yesterday, the day before. I thought it had another name after, but it was just literally Marvel Avengers. Crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like they own by the same place, but it's like Star Wars just going out with Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go play Star Wars?
Star Wars game. There you go. You'll play as Luke. There you go.
Well, I get excited because I feel like I was playing a game based on the original movie or something, right? You know.
Even that has a name now.
So it's a little misleading.
Isn't that New Hope the first Star Wars now? It's not just Star Wars.
Since,
They can,
get confused with that as well if they just put Star Wars.
Star Wars
since
4, I
1980,
think.
it's been first or A New Hope.
New Hope.
Yeah.
But
They kind of did some backtracking on those, so they've muddied the waters a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I'm salty as fuck about it. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it either.
There you go.
Do a whole podcast just on Star Wars.
Yeah, speaking of
bullshit.
kids, just fucking railing us.
Scribble.
So, I wanted to point this out real quick before we get too far into this. So Amazon was getting into the video game industry, and it was kind of exciting. We thought that we could get something outside of EA, maybe have a Titan to battle it. Amazon
Another
doing
cash grabbing company.
Amazon is not doing well. So they came out with their development teams. They were going to do 3 games. They were going to do Breakaway, they were going to do Crucible, and New World. Breakaway was canceled almost immediately. Crucible came out. It was on Steam. It was, people were playing it for, I think it came out in May. And it is already canned. It's gone. And now all that's left from Amazon is New World, and that's supposed to be out next year.
They had gameplay of this one, didn't they?
Yeah, this was playable.
They had fully playable. What?
So,
have they got a reason for it? Or?
So it came out, and then it went back into closed beta in July, and then now it's just been completely canceled because essentially they were just saying that it wasn't. Ultimately we didn't see a healthy, sustainable future ahead. So nobody.
There was no marketing behind it.
Yeah, it just kind of showed up. They haven't really marketed anything.
They own Twitch and Amazon Store. Why I saw nothing of that game on either. They could have just literally put it in an advert or put it as the banner on it, and people would have looked more into it. But it was nowhere. It's hard to find information about it.
It makes you wonder about Amazon's direction in video games. I mean, they have Twitch, it works well, but I'm not sure how committed they are to let's say publishing games, or developing them. It's a different beast. And the thing is, this is the thing. Amazon has a shitload amount of money. They could pull a Microsoft move, and they could buy, and so some big time game developer just to kind of amp up Amazon, and their imprint on video games. For example, they could buy Valorant or something like that. Why not? And all of a sudden they could have a presence in terms of a game that at least some people are playing. I know it's not doing super hot, but it's still, people are streaming it on Twitch, and if you log on to Twitch now, chances are you're going to see someone with a big following playing Valorant. So I'm not exactly sure I understand what Amazon is doing, honestly, and even I don't really understand what they're doing personally. I feel like they have enough money, they have enough pull in the game industry with Twitch that I feel like they could do better than this. Like, oh, we started this, but we don't see a future for it. Like, what the hell? This is Amazon. You couldn't do your research on the game properly, or you couldn't invest the proper amounts of money into the game. Like, this makes no sense to me. This is incompetent.
Well, they have enough money to partner with a studio to give it, even a smaller studio, a big chance to make a good game. Exactly. So smaller studios out there making amazing games, and Amazon could give that smaller studio a chance at doing something like this.
I mean, there's a whole magazine.
Amazon definitely has enough money where they can make, where they can do proper. Yeah, there you go. The Indie Gamer mag. Where we could do proper research, invest into a bunch of smaller, gaming studios and whatnot. They have the cash. So the fact that they want to do video games and are failing at it, I just don't really get it.
It's mind-boggling. How do you have all the money in the world and you have these? I mean, Crucible, it looked all right. It looked like a mix.
Yeah, it did look good.
It was like Apex Legends, Overwatch. Unfortunately, that was also a lot of the negative reviews about it, was it didn't bring anything new. You know, with Overwatch, you had the unique classes with the special abilities, and Apex Legends has its own, you know, story going on. But with Crucible, it was just, they just kind of copy and pasted EA. They didn't really add anything to it. And so that was a lot of complaints.
It's not the best company to copy, though, is it? Either?
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah, we just spent half an hour dumping on it.
So, but it's interesting because right here it says Amazon also says that it will be offering a full refund for any purchases that you have made in Crucible. So that's how bad that it's gone. And it only made it, you know, May to October. So in those couple of months, it really went downhill.
So they had 4 games in development.
3
at once.
So that, yeah, they announced 3 in 2018. It was Breakaway, which was like a brawler, like a competitive brawl. It's like Crucible, but with melee, I guess. And then Crucible and New World. And now New World's the only one that's left, and the only one.
That's one of the mistakes there, doing 3 games at once. That's the first time.
Well, they had 3 different developers too, 3 different teams, and now I guess the Crucible team is going to go work on New World now. So they're like, I guess they're kind of doubling down by putting every developer on this one game.
Imagine if that flopped.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited.
You just leave the market.
Because right now New World has like a playable demo where you can play through, you know, the first couple of levels, and it has as a MMORPG, it has some promise. The combat's a little bit different than typical, the classes and everything, and what they're showing with the PvP and stuff like that, with fighting for control and building, it has that going for it. So if they kind of double down and just focus on that one title, maybe they can make something of it.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it suggests. They rather put all their eggs in one basket. Really is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were getting the Crucible people to work on New World, but I think that's what it suggests, and I feel like it's a big boom or bust kind of situation, putting all their eggs in one basket, and it's going to be off, and it's going to be the beginning of something. I don't know, but I still maybe it's the right decision. You know, maybe they're right. They did their research and they saw there was no future for Crucible, and you know, maybe they're right. I don't know. I feel like Amazon can do better. Maybe they will.
They did their research after they developed a full game and put it out on the market.
well, you know, like, you know, things like that happen. You know, like it wouldn't be. It's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. You know, like things like that happen. But it does speak to a certain level of incompetence at some point, especially coming from a company that has well, they have Twitch. Like they should know video games.
They should know the trends.
They should know what sells. They have access to the inside algorithms at Twitch. They know what people watch. They know what people want to see. They know all of that stuff. So given that, and given yeah, exactly. Given that, and given the amounts of cash that they have that they could use on this, it's like you know, it just makes their failures that much more glaring.
And they didn't even release it either. Like, they don't know if it could have been something good. Like some game. Look at
it was out.
Fall Guys. Oh, it was out. It was fully out.
Yeah. I had it on Steam.
Oh, I thought it was still like just about to release or something.
No, it came out.
Did it do bad? Did it look like it was doing bad on Steam?
It was. I think it was mixed reviews.
Mixed.
But yeah.
Well, if you don't end up like Anthem, you're in the green, really, aren't you?
I downloaded it when it came out, and I played a match, and it was fine. It wasn't anything new though, and a lot of the mechanics were the same. There was like 2 game modes. Like there just wasn't enough to it, and then it went back into closed beta after a full release, so they could, I guess, try to figure everything out, and then they just gave up.
Was it a type of game? Was it like Apex? You say?
Yeah, it was like one of those team-based shooters,
Yeah.
Overwatch,
Also,
Apex.
so a lot of them games evolve over time. Like
Oh, yeah.
Fortnite and Apex weren't as good as they were now when they started. Fortnite wasn't even a battle royale when it first started.
It was a like a tower defense almost. Like you had to build
Yeah.
up your base, and yeah,
You were going up against zombies,
Yeah,
so they could have added different updates through its period to make it better.
and it's Amazon. They could have bled money for a year before they had to give up. It's insane.
They could have done a massive overhaul of that game and still have the base game there, so they wouldn't have to even make a game from the ground up.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that
Like Capcom make Resident Evil remakes and build it from the ground up. They would all have to do is basically change some elements. That's it. That could have been great.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, so
They're still learning, guys. You know, they're new. They're still learning. Probably part of the learning process, but still,
yeah.
you know, I think we can be hard on Amazon considering all the facts. But you know, look, I hope that they're serious long term because if they are, obviously, it could be good for the industry.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Let's,
right.
Nah. I don't want Amazon in the industry.
Ghost of Tsushima.
They have enough money.
How do you pronounce that again? Ghost of Tsushima.
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 Where's the
Tsushima.
accent?
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Ghost of
For Jess
Tsushima.
been playing too much to go Tsushima.
Not enough. I haven't played it like at all.
I tried playing it this morning because I thought Pacific time was British time, but it's not. I got confused with the time zone.
So you guys both played it. How do you like it, guys?
I think it's great. I'm still in Act 1 though.
It's good. It's a cool open world. You can to compare everything to like The Witcher or something, but it kind of falls in that line. But with samurai, you know, you can do side missions. You go upgrade your armor and do all that stuff. So
Yeah, I compare it to Red Dead Redemption.
Oh.
that's a better that's a better
Yeah,
comparison.
it's just like with swords, but I don't like Red Dead Redemption because it bores me a bit. That's kind
Bores
of
you.
That's a controversial subject though.
You're bored by Red Dead Redemption?
I don't like Red Redemption. I prefer Ghost of Tsushima to Red Dead Redemption.
Interesting.
Well, you know what? Okay.
Jeff, boot him out.
All right. Yeah.
I didn't really like the first one either, but I got through it to play the second one.
Let's move on.
Is it a samurai versus cowboys thing that you prefer? Like you prefer to play with samurai versus cowboys?
I don't know. I like
I'm
the
speechless,
gameplay
Reese.
better. I don't know. It's just Red Dead Redemption. It had a good story, but to me, it just felt a bit samey.
Mm.
Usually stories put me through the game. And no one's going to agree.
I don't agree, but you're entitled to your opinion as wrong as it can be. You're still entitled to it. You know, so that's really the best thing that I can say about that.
Spider-Man.
Oh God!
Oh,
I think we spoke about Spider-Man enough last night. But I think you guys had some unfinished. You had some unfinished business you wanted to settle or something about Spider-Man being just.
It's not
crappy.
boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
It's not boring. Spider-Man's a fun character.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Well, coming from someone that doesn't like Red Dead Redemption, I think that your opinion is.
Yeah, my opinion is valid. You said literally.
No, I didn't say it's valid. I said you're entitled to it.
You can both.
I said I think it's valid.
You're both entitled.
Yeah, we could both be wrong about. You could be wrong about Spider-Man. I could be wrong about Red Dead.
You're both entitled to be wrong. There you go.
No, Reese is entitled to be wrong. He's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to be wrong.
Ghost of Tsushima has a new DLC.
Yeah, right. Let's get back on topic here.
So here's what players can expect. Here's just a couple things. I mean, it's a big, long list. But probably most importantly is there's a new cooperative gameplay experience. You can play 2 to 4 players. With the 2-player, there's a series of co-op story missions, building on the foundation of combat from the single-player campaign. And with 4 players, you can take on wave-based survival missions, fight groups of the toughest enemies, and then for also 4 players, a raid will arrive shortly. So I kind of feel like this is kind of going towards like Destiny territory, where you can team up, go do raids, go get new armor and stuff, which I think would be kind of interesting for like this kind of samurai game. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be. You can choose from 4 different character classes, so I assume it's gonna be separate from the single player.
Yeah, it's an supernatural like area. Like we can go up against Japanese mythology and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Like that Oni.
I'm all on board for that. That sounds great.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'd buy a game what had that whole thing.
James is sideways.
If it was
I thought someone was making that sound. That's funny.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
And then there's something.
No, it actually sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
be kind of like Neo, but multiplayer.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
New Game Plus. So that starts an open world, and then New Game Plus, Ghost Flowers and Ghost Flower Merchants, quick change armor loadouts. So yeah, there's just a ton of stuff coming in this. Ghost of Tsushima Legends comes out today. So I'm all on board for that. That sounds awesome. I like the idea of the 4-player raid. Choosing, you can be a samurai, hunter, ronin, or assassin, each with unique advantages and abilities. So that sounds really cool. I hope that, like I said, kind of compared it to Destiny, I kind of hope it is kind of like that. You know, you can go and do raids and missions and upgrade your armor and do stuff like that. So I wonder if there will be like...
It sounds like it.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited for that. I played for a couple of hours. I maybe have like 3 hours under my belt, so I didn't get too far. But I loved it. I haven't had time to really dive into it too much. But I know Reese has put in some hours.
Yeah, I think I have like 15 to 20 hours, but I'm still not. I think there's like 3 or 4 acts, and I'm still on the first one because I keep on exploring like this first area. I think there's multiple areas. I think there's at least 2. I saw snow in the trailer, and I never saw snow in the game yet.
It almost sounds like they're trying to inject a second life into the game, because I feel like Ghost of Tsushima was it was highly hyped, but I feel like once it released, I'm not sure that it fully lived up to the potential or the hype. It was a well-rated game, but I think we had Game of the Year aspirations, or it had Game of the Year aspirations. I'm not sure it was there based on release, from at least the sentiment that I gathered online, and maybe some of this is going towards the to the effect of maybe correcting that, and maybe injecting some kind of like a second life into the game. And of course, as the end nears and stuff, at the end of the year nears, like a game with hype could kind of like push forward in Game of the Year, nominations. But of course, it's going to compete with Cyberpunk. So that might be a little tough. But I think that we here agreed before the release that it was going to be Game of the Year. But I'm not sure personally that I still feel that it's going to be Game of the Year. But like I said, maybe all of this is going to help give it a second boost, because these are massive updates. Like, these are massive upgrades, right?
This
like pretty big stuff.
And that was just...
I think it's one of the most sold PS4 games. But then didn't Last of Us Part 2 come out the month after?
Yeah.
Or
before.
Was it after or before?
I think it was before.
It was after. Oh, was it before?
I think it was before. I don't remember.
Because Ghost of Tsushima delayed itself just because The Last of Us had to delay because of the pandemic.
So Last of Us 2...
I know Last of Us Jeff played, and he didn't like it. And a lot of people didn't like The Last of Us 2.
I wasn't a massive fan of the first one, so I didn't bother.
So Last of Us came out a month before Ghost.
So that could have killed the hype for Ghost of Tsushima. They did that by themselves because they're probably both owned by PlayStation. They gave him like the courtesy thing and changed like we'll delay a month so you can release in that month by yourself.
Yeah, because they're both
It's
Sony PlayStation games, right?
Yeah, if they like just did that out of respect, or PlayStation forced them to either way.
Very possible.
We lost
Yeah.
James again.
Yeah, we lost James. His battery died. He just messaged us in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so The Last of Us, I don't think is going to win Game of the Year. That game was getting hammered in terms of criticism. I think if it won Game of the Year, I think people will have a royal meltdown. I'm not sure what other games though are up there. I just know Ghost of Tsushima based on the story. Oh, I'm looking weird now.
Yeah.
Based on the story, based on the world that they created, which is this it's this fictitious world, right? It's not real. It's fake, but it's very interesting. Like Genghis Khan bringing his hordes of his army to the shores. It's based on a true story, but I think that the story is that the Mongolians or the Mongols never actually landed in Japan. I think their ship was wrecked before they got there. So I think that's what the story kind of changes, right? Instead of their ship being wrecked, I think I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it was. Historically, they tried to go there, but there was a typhoon or something, and the ship got wrecked. But if they got there, well, this is the game. Kind of like some other games that we saw. I think on PS3, I forget the name of that game now. Where kind of like if the Nazis won the war and crap like that. So it's kind of like a similar what if kind of scenario. But they do it really well. They create this world really well, and so it's really cool. So I think based on all of that, and the gameplay is it's good. It has in-depth combat system and all of that. Like you said, it's Red Dead Redemption set in feudal Japan with a nasty horde of angry Mongols trying to murder you, which is interesting. So it kind of meets all the right criteria for a game of the year.
What do you think is going to be game of the year?
I think it's still a contender.
I think Cyberpunk.
Really?
I feel like it's going. I don't know. What do you got? What other game was there that was huge this year? Did Nintendo release anything that was huge?
Hades came out. That's pretty big at the minute. Still from being out for about a month or two. It's an indie game. There's a lot of stuff going on about
game
that.
Of the year?
I think could be in the list.
All right.
It could be in the list. How many is there? Is there 5 usually in the nominees? 5.
Last of Us, Ghost, Cyberpunk, maybe Hades, and I mean, what else?
Maybe one of the new next gen games that are going to be released.
Oh yeah, they'd be in it.
Godfall or something.
Yeah.
No.
I forgot about
not
that.
Godfall.
That's not going to be before the end of the year.
Definitely not Godfall. It was terrible.
Okay.
Horizon Dawn or
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's next year. Maybe Demon Souls.
Demon Souls.
Can the remake be? Resident Evil 2 was in the nominees. The remake of Resident Evil 2 last year.
Well, what Resident Evil 2 remake was in the nominees, really?
Last year, I think it was, yeah. Or whenever that was released.
I think if it's good enough, I'll make the list. But I think awarding a remake the title of Game of the Year.
Not Game of the Year. I don't reckon it'll be Game of the Year.
I think it's been a shitty ass gaming year if that's the criteria. Remake wins it. I mean, it can be an amazing remake. Don't get me wrong, but still,
it could be Miles Morales as well because Spider-Man was in the Game of the Year I think it was last year or the year before that when it came out, but it's not looking great really. I like the look of the game. I'll play it, but it's not going to be the same as the first one. I know your views on it, isn't it? There's a lot of information about that Miles Morales as well. And it's looking good, but I'm not sure if it's
A
going to
lot
be
of
the
people,
same as
are hyped
Spider-Man.
for it.
Because I think it's meant to be a lot smaller. Because I think it's cheaper compared to the other games, and that usually means it's going to be considerably smaller.
Right.
So I pre-ordered it with the PS5 with
Oh, you
Demon's
did?
Souls. Yeah,
Oh, so you pre-ordered the PS5 too? All right. So we only have Jeff that's not on board.
I've got an
With
Xbox Series S coming as well, so I'm like,
You got the
right,
Xbox
right.
too?
Yeah, I got the Xbox Series S.
Oh my God.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but I haven't gotten charged yet, so I'm still debating whether to keep that Xbox or not.
I mean, I can't wait to play Madden on the PS5.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesomely similar, or in fact, awesomely exactly the same as what you played on the PS4.
Might as well just go back to PS2 at this point.
I really like the PS2 Madden, I gotta say. The PS2 Madden and the PS2 Pro Evolution Soccer are some of my favorite games. And
I've played Madden once
There was so many
last year. That's it.
PlayStation 2, you had NFL Blitz, you had Game Day, you had 2K, you had Madden, and then Madden got the rights, and now they're just a fuckhole monopoly, and they suck, and
Could they make it
still getting
XFL game?
yeah,
Yeah,
Could they do? Yeah.
It'd be,
if the money is right, for sure. And honestly, I can see it now that The Rock is managing it. I can totally see I can totally see them perhaps using like a game to kind of market the league itself at some point. It would be smart marketing because in the past we've had since NFL has basically given EA a lifetime license award for their license. We've had some games. So 2K has made games, but not NFL games, just regular football games. So, we could see a 2K and XFL partnership at some point because, 2K could release a football game. And instead of releasing this generic game with like generic players and stuff like that, well, now they can release an XFL game. And so I think it's a definite possibility, honestly, that we might see an XFL game at some point in the future. Will it be better than Madden? We don't know. If 2K does it, of course, people love NFL 2K, myself included. It was an awesome game. And so people will, if 2K makes it, I think at least the people that were around in 2005 playing NFL games will definitely be excited. Now, how many people are those compared to the player pool of NFL games? I'm not sure because it's been a while, but I think people will definitely get excited, and I think that it can create hype for the actual league itself because, the league basically folded this year. The XFL folded until the Rock basically bought it because it was basically in bankruptcy. He only paid not much money for it at all, so he got it for very, very cheap. So look, a lot of possibilities there. I think it could be very interesting. But first, of course, the league is going to have to restart, right?
yeah, it's I wrote about it. I think it's 2022. So I don't think we're gonna see it next year, but I think 2022. It's the XFL's coming back.
Yeah, right.
I have no clue.
There you go.
I'm not watching it. It's not here, I don't think. But with The Rock being a part of it, he's basically marketing it he could market it by doing nothing, just with his name on it.
Oh yeah, The Rock's
Just
XFL.
That's the idea.
Go on a tour of like different wrestling things, and then just come back, and they'll probably build a whole fan base for it.
2K, The Rock's XFL 2022.
Aren't 2K games doing pretty bad?
Huh?
Like sports ones. Aren't 2K sports games doing pretty bad at the minute?
Right now, or
yeah. Like right now, like though they do the basketball one, didn't that turn out bad?
I have no idea. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. I'm not sure either.
I know they.
I think the basketball is their main franchise. So you know, like the NBA 2K games are
Maybe it's like time
really
for a new
what.
company to start making sports games.
I mean, 2K used to make they used to make NFL games. They used to also make, I believe, NHL games as well, and they don't do that anymore. So you know,
like
I don't know.
2011 or something.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. But I think people play the NBA game, NBA 2K. If you look on Twitch and stuff, you'll see people streaming it and everything. And wasn't it NBA 2K that got the Mamba cover, or was it another NBA
No,
game?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was this year. I forgot
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
but it was the 2K NBA game, right?
Yeah,
That got the
yeah.
Mamba cover.
NBA.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like an interesting kind of thing, of course.
Yeah.
But and of course, it doesn't mean that 2K is doing well. I honestly don't know, but I would think that at least the NBA games are doing okay. I would think,
I
based
think
on
so.
what I'm seeing online and stuff
I think
like that.
in some of what I read, it was just something to do with microtransactions, and I was just really bad with them or something. But that's probably the same with every sports game nowadays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm saying, bit shit.
Let's jump to Mass Effect, and then
Let's do it.
we are going way over.
Yeah. All right. So what's up with Mass Effect?
All right. So the Mass Effect Legendary Collection has been leaked again.
There's like 5 leaks now,
um,
and it's all by ratings like bureaus,
yeah,
and one by the UK video game store called Game. Someone actually had a receipt for the game.
It says it's worth noting that the Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea isn't a hard confirmation of the remastered existence. It just so happens to be that games are often submitted for rating in South Korea before other regions.
Okay.
I just wrote an article that I think it was going to come out in October, but because Crash Bandicoot sales kind of dropped because it's just before the next generation, I think they might be pushing it to the next generation because there's been no point of releasing it now on PS4.
Initially,
By the way, Jeff, we can barely see you in the actual video. just letting you know.
This is James' fault. Initially, the reports indicated the remastered trilogy would be revealed this month and released this month. But it's been revealed that the dates have been moved. So I would assume, yeah, especially if it says we have to wait until 2021, I would assume that it's going to be on the next gen. Because why?
It's going to have a lot of changes have to go to make a next gen game.
As for BioWare and EA, they have not provided any type of comment or statement on the leak. So, I think there's obviously a Mass Effect Legendary Collection coming. I think it will be next gen, though. I don't think that it wouldn't make sense, like you said, to release it right now.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think that a Mass Effect Legendary Collection? So Legendary Collection, what does it entail exactly? Sorry, I don't think I.
3 games and the DLC. What came with the games?
Yep, Mass Effect.
So the 3 games, right?
Yeah.
And DLC for all of them.
They could include Domino or whatever it was called. They could remake that because it was apparently bugged to hell when it first came out.
Yeah, the glaring omission here is Mass Effect Andromeda, which may be because it doesn't need a remaster and because it's not part of the trilogy. It's also possible that BioWare and EA want to move on from the game as it wasn't received as well.
Now, what do you guys think this is going to do well?
I have no idea. I had 360. I've played Xbox. I never got into Mass Effect. I know it was huge. I know with BioWare behind it, with the kind of pick your own story as you make decisions and stuff. I know that was well received. I don't know. I never got into it, but I know that it has a really big fandom. So I would assume that something like that would do well. I mean, people are buying Spyro Remaster and Crash Bandicoot Remaster, so why wouldn't they want Mass Effect?
All right.
I've
I've played
two of them. I don't think I played the third one, but there was loads of controversy of the ending, but I still don't really know it. But the first two were good. I've not long since bought the trilogy on PS3, and I was planning on replaying it, and then this news came out, so just kind of waiting to replay it. I did play the first two, and they were decent.
Yeah,
decent.
Yeah, I just can't remember. I don't know if it's because we've had so many games where you can pick what to do. Even like The Witcher was one of the biggest games, and you could pick what you do, pick your tree, whatever you say and stuff like that. And loads of games. I just don't think it's gonna do as well now as it did then.
Yeah.
That was kind of my question. Well,
There's a big fan base around it.
Yeah, but is the fan base there for a collection? It's not even we're not even talking remaster, right? We're talking collection, and right. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. But yeah,
I reckon it could. They haven't confirmed anything, so it could be a remake.
I think
it could be absolutely, but that would seem like a much probably, but that would be based on the Mass Effect world and how big it can be and all of that. You would think that a remake would be a pretty big undertaking. So then you would think, is a remake smart, or would they be better off just maybe building a new game? And I'm not exactly.
What happened to the last game?
Yeah, exactly. But maybe they want to. Maybe they want to redeem themselves. Also, maybe they need the money. So maybe that's why they would be packaging everything up and releasing it. I assume it's pretty easy money because they don't have to do all that much. They just have to make sure that the stuff runs on the current gen and just package it all together, and they just release it. People pay money for something that they've already created a long time ago. So
I reckon even if they didn't make that many changes, I still think there's a big enough fan base that it would sell pretty decently.
Right on. Fair enough.
I wasn't a massive
that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Because you look at other games that have been kind of packaged and stuff, and a lot of them are kind of classics. I'm not sure that Mass Effect really fits into that bill, but then again, you say that the fan base is there, and I'm not disputing that because I honestly I don't know. That's why I was asking. Maybe it's there. I hope it's there because Mass Effect is. I think it's an easy game to root for because there's not that many space exploration games out there kind of like it. So it's definitely a game that I root for.
You can pillage me right now, but I'm gonna ask a question before we get out of here. Mass Effect, Halo.
What?
What's the difference?
One of them's an RPG, and one of them's a first-person shooter.
Isn't Mass Effect a shooter though?
It's not. It's a third person.
Okay.
I think Mass Effect is probably more similar to like Knights of the Old Republic than it is to Halo.
Confused, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say it was kind of like that. There has some similarities there, but Halo is nothing like it.
well, Halo is a straight down in the gutter kind of shooter.
Yeah.
I mean the similarity is that they both kind of deal with a space.
Yes, both in space. It's probably
an alien kind of like.
Yeah.
That's the only similarity, and I'm over here like I don't know the difference.
No. But I mean it's a fine question. I mean
I was thinking literally today. I didn't understand why Halo. I liked Halo, but I didn't understand why it was such a big thing.
I don't either.
I played Halo 2 when I was in school with all my friends because that's what everybody did. But kind of after, because that was just Xbox, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all Xbox.
PC.
No, it was just Xbox. Yeah.
PC. Yeah. But yeah, I remember.
I think they were all on PC after they came out on Xbox, even the early ones.
Because
I
like
think.
the first Xbox.
I think the third one came out on Xbox 360.
Right. Yeah. So
I
like
think so.
the first Xbox, like we played the shit out of it because we would all just go to a friend's house and play it. But then like once we moved on, and I got to like Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, like the games changed. It turned to COD, Black Ops. It turned to other titles. So I don't know. I just never really got into Halo because I was just kind of playing what my friends were playing, and so it kind of fell off my radar.
I think COD kind of killed Halo, or at least the hype for it. I think people still play Halo, but definitely when COD came around, it took
There's a lot of
over.
loyalists like for Halo. People will go buy an Xbox just for Halo, but I just don't understand. When it first came out, it was like a massive thing for Microsoft to have that person like logo kind of thing, logo character. But now it is dying now.
I think the big draw to Halo is the fact that it's an Xbox thing, right? Like you associate
Probably the
Master
best
Chief
Xbox
with
exclusive.
Xbox, right?
Yeah,
It's
Gears of
kind of
War.
like the Mario of Xbox. Like it's why people buy Xboxes. They buy it for Halo, and you know
Well, the
they'll play
characters stand out,
some
doesn't it?
Gears of War, and that's basically it. And there's not
Gears of War.
you know there's not a ton of iconic Xbox titles, but Halo definitely is the one. Look, I think Halo could make a massive comeback. I think Microsoft plays their cards right. I think Halo could be a contender because you know people like Halo. People have liked Halo for a while. Yeah, they've been playing COD and whatever, you know, for a while, and perhaps they've forgotten about Halo. But I think once you have that kind of fan base like Halo does, and that kind of fan base that reaches multiple generations, you know, the original came out in 2001. They've been releasing games ever since, you know, every few years, whatever. So I think once you have that kind of fan base, I think if you play your cards right on the next installment, I think you can gain back some of that market that you lost. And it's not like, look, COD is doing well. It's been doing well every year, basically. But it's not like
In
people
my
are
eyes, COD's
willing to play
improving.
other shouters, right?
I've pre-ordered Call of Duty for the next console.
Is it improving?
Do you play it?
Not since Black Ops.
Yeah,
I was fucking the shit at Black Ops. So I had a 1.99 KD, like firing range and Nuketown and Summit. Like, I'll take anybody. But after that, like I think Ghost kind of killed it for me. But
Call of Duty Go.
I came back to it when Modern Warfare came back last year.
yeah,
But apparently the next Halo is going to be like Destiny, like games as a service thing when they just keep on going and going and going. Apparently it's going to last like 10 years.
okay.
That's the information I got from it last time I was researching.
Interesting.
I'm not looking forward to it. I played Destiny, but I wasn't a massive fan. And now, really, Destiny just feels like a kind of better Halo.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have.
I think we can end it on that note.
Yeah.
We went way overboard. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say.
For a week, what didn't have that much news, this is probably our longest one.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get going,
we went so long that we even lost the man in the process. That's how long we went.
It happens every time.
Yeah, actually does.
All right.
Just put a timestamp for when it happens.
Make a little mini game every week. Have people take bets. When will James drop out? So yeah, one thing I want to say before we get out of here is I think later today, at least Reese and I will be streaming Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yep.
And then you're gonna join us eventually, I guess, Daniel.
Yeah, this weekend I'm hoping.
Sounds good. So we're gonna be streaming. We're gonna try to do a little bit of that as we go. I think we're gonna maintain the podcast every Friday. It seems to work out better for everybody. So we'll have a top 5 video this weekend. We have the podcast today, and then we're doing a little bit of streaming. So we've got a lot of content
and
coming.
we're also gonna do the PS5 giveaway video and content piece. We're gonna be releasing that shortly. We just have to. Well, we have to work on it. I don't think we started, but we'll get that up soon.
Top 5 reasons why to buy a PS5.
I don't know. I think we're just gonna do a straight up giveaway video.
I wrote one.
Viewers.
Oh, I wrote a top 10 on PS5 yesterday, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that is there.
Sounds good.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave it here. I think we've done like 2 hours.
Pretty freaking close.
All right, guys.
I was hoping the ticker would keep us on track, but I mean,
No. I look. We pushed for 20 minutes. This is like 10 times longer, but it's okay. It's okay. It's only our third
podcast is usually about an hour anyway.
There you go.
We'll get it figured out.
So if anyone is still watching us and haven't subscribed on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. About the podcast, Jeff handles that stuff. So yeah, Jeff. I assume if people are watching, they've already kind of subbed to us on the podcast. But yeah, sub, and like I said, we'll be giving away a PS5 very shortly. We'll be putting out information about how to register, how to get in, entries, multiple entries, and how to amp up those chances to win. But PS5 is going to be awesome, and it's also going to be pretty expensive. So a chance to win one is actually a pretty big deal, in my opinion. So I think. Well, exactly, right.
Jeff doesn't care.
I'm gonna win that thing.
Yeah, you're not eligible, Jeff. You're not eligible. Forget about it. You're not eligible.
Change your name.
and you can't change your name. I'm gonna keep track of your IP.
I have a VPN.
I'm gonna use the VPN.
All right.
He's gonna put it on his friend's name.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, just register for this contest, and then I just give it to me.
Sounds good to me. All right, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. All right.
We'll see everybody next week. We'll talk to you later. Check us out on YouTube when we're going to be streaming later. So,
adios.
bye.
Ta-ta.